Hello guys, and welcome to yet another game of the League of Legends. Today we are doing something quite special. Wait, I meant to get this. I don't need any real use for the all items, and I'm starting with the Q this time. But let's go over the teams while we make it to top lane. So right now I'm top, and if you guys haven't noticed, I'm Happy Elf Teemo. It's a really cool skin. With Spacebar as Zed in the mid lane. I just met him last game in my last attempt at recording top Teemo. Jinx ADC and Morgana support Shaco in the jungles. And it's actually funny because he's against another Shaco. They both have different skins that are really cool. Royal Shaco. Here, Lily Basic is Royal Shaco, and this Shaco is Nutcracko. They have, I'm guessing, mid Diana, support Nidalee, and top Irelia. Okay, good thing our Shaco got out. So I don't know who I'm actually really facing against, because top Diana, top Nidalee, and top Irelia are all actually, things. So I don't know how exactly this will turn out, but hopefully it will be really fun. Nidalee is there, there's a ward, and Shaco's there. He might be able to get out if he can trick them all. Okay, so they're going for a good fight, and it's going to turn out very well, but it seems like, even though it's a 4v4, there might be some trouble in really initiating it. So hopefully, our team can come out on top. We don't know if they'll be able to keep it, because it might be stolen, but it seems like the enemy team is returning to their lanes, which is good for us. So we're against Irelia, who is, I don't know if I've played this before against her in an actual recording, but I believe I have. So I believe I've told you before that she is a very troublesome top laner, but I have fought her so many times in the top lane, as not Teemo, but as other people, but I can't remember who at the moment, because top lane is kind of the same thing over and over again, so it's kind of hard sometimes to remember what exactly you have done and what you haven't done. I have shot that minion with a blinding effect. I meant to hit Irelia, but all's fair in love and war. I was hoping to blind her in order to kind of poke her out, but it seems like I don't need to. She and I both have the same amount of farm, so we should be fine for the moment. And the thing is, I don't have to expend mana to really poke her. Luckily, because I have poison with my passively with my E. So if I can just continuously get off basic attacks, it should be just fine. Okay, so I just spent a lot of farm there trying to get multiple farm at the same time, so I kind of screwed that up. So hopefully I can make her miss. Okay, I don't know why it attacked me, to be completely honest. That was actually kind of irregular, because I didn't do any damage to her. And normally the tower will only attack you if you are doing damage to a champion underneath it. So, hopefully I can return some of that poke. It seems like I shall. But I shouldn't be too careless at this point, because I am low, and if the jungle does happen to gank, and being Shaco, he is very potent at his ganks, I should be careful. And she actually was preparing to do something. As you saw, she activated her, I believe, E, meaning she might have gone to attempt to go in or get a farm. I cannot say at the moment, and it seems like our ally Shaco had just been executed, sadly. There's nothing we could have done for him. That's all we have to tell ourselves. And right now, this will be somewhat of a farm lane, because Irelia and Teemo can both be very strong in the later segments of the game. But at this point right now, it will be troublesome for either of us to really try to do anything, I guess you can say. But I'm going to almost keep my cursor pointing towards the Irelia in case she tries to do some trading. But right now, focusing on farming should be my top priority. Yep. And now that I'm able to get the farm, and as a ranged champ, I should be taking quite a few chances to poke her, but knowing that it is Irelia, I will take precautions against her, because if I do end up getting fed, my team's not only going to hate me, but I'm going to hate me. Because she is so incredibly strong when fed. So that's just going to be a really bad time all around, I guess you could say. And I don't want that for you guys, because you guys hopefully enjoy watching my videos and I can show you a good time. So Teemo in the top lane has become more popular in my opinion than Teemo in the mid lane, because Teemo has a limited amount of actual like attack range, as she has to get in pretty close, and mages that are popular are usually ones that can actually do a lot of bursts, and Diana isn't actually one of those. So the fact that you've seen her in the top lane today is actually a little, mid lane today is a little surprising. Like I said, she's also suited for the top lane, but she's also like mostly seen inside the jungle. She was designed as a top laner, but it is said that people have found that she's more useful inside of the jungle, weirdly enough. And apparently her kit was so strong inside the jungle that even though she was designed for mid lane, they had to nerf her as a jungler, which I think is actually kind of cool. And now that I have my shrooms, everything should be alright. It's kind of funny because in our last game there was a Zed in the mid lane, although he was a different Zed, because the other Spacebar, he was actually our enemy Garen, and we were actually having a really fun time fighting him. And the enemy team surrendered because our mid lane got fed, and the top lane was pretty much an island, so it was actually kind of cool. Me and Garen hadn't gotten kills, we were pretty much equal in CS, and that's kind of what I was like hoping for. I didn't think I could really fight him, but I set up, as you can see, I'll be setting up sooner, and I'll hopefully show you another really good usage of my shrooms. Usually they're used to ward off opponents by placing them in the bushes, so if they do come and attack, you can be able to see them. But I'm putting them in line, so if Aurelia or the jungle comes after me, I can hopefully weed them out of the chase using my shrooms. And it pretty much makes a very good defense for me, because they know it's there. So if the minions do get close enough, it'll prevent them from pushing. And if they don't get close enough, and the enemy attacks anyways, hopefully they'll be close enough in order for me to get it off. And hopefully now the Aurelia is far enough away, and has been far enough away, to think that I'm not putting my shrooms in the lane. Hopefully she assumes that, like every other Teemo she's probably met, I'm putting them in the bushes. Now, she's actually very strong, but she's trying to put with her attacking, so basically I want to kind of like stop her from being incredibly strong with my blind, and that will do a lot to dampen her power. But as you saw, she pushed the lane. Either she's planning on going back, or she was planning on getting a gank. Okay, so right now I'm doing this just to also prevent the gank, but or whatever, her attack, I'm going to stay near my shrooms, of course, and I'm going to be ready to, at any time if I need to, Q her. Because right now, she actually loses a lot of her sustain in a battle if she doesn't have her ultimate to attack me. And I need to be careful too, because she can still do a lot, because I'm low enough that she can't, if she E's me, instead of a stun, it's a slow. Because if I have a higher percentage of health, her attacks, her E will. Okay, I'm a tank, so hopefully I can have enough save. Okay, I'm safe. But I'm gonna run. Don't know who will be coming after me, and hopefully I was able to put her out of commission as well, because Teemo shrooms typically do a lot of damage. The jungler is Shaco, but if I stay near this turret, hopefully I can gain enough of a shield that he can't completely assassinate me before I get off perhaps my Q, in order to stem a little, like, I don't know, stop a little bit of the damage, I guess. I was trying to think of a clever term, but my brain went dead. And I'm going to start with getting towards the Iron Soraka Asari like I usually do, but because it's actually a very good item. And I'm getting this because I'm also working towards the Mercury Treads to weaken any kind of getting tenacity, so I don't have to continuously get stunned for long periods of time, and that slime will be a little less effective. Because the stun is one of Aurelia's biggest tools, and even the slow is very helpful towards her. So if I can weaken that, it actually will be a very good thing. Instead of completely fouling up my Q, because it's pretty strong as it is now, I think it's, yep, 2.25, and it'll be 2.5 at level 5. And right now I'm going to go ahead and level up my pushing power almost, I guess, using my E. And right now she can't do much because she probably knows that the shroom is there. And if I can just get off that, there's no way she'll really be able to do much to me. And if I didn't tell you this, like, I got Q leveled up pretty high last time too, because it prevented Garen from using his auto attack, which goes ahead and silences you. It didn't stop the silence, but it actually did stop the damage, so that's a good thing. So even though he had a silence, I was able to negate some of his damage, which was good enough to always let me get away, even though I was at a disadvantage with that stun. Okay, so I guess I forget what it just said, but let me just hit enter for a second. I didn't realize you had an Aurelia. Oh, lol. Morgana's saying that to the enemy team because Aurelia is a really strong pick, I guess, so she almost didn't even realize it was there, because in the bot lane, top lane has almost nothing to do with her. And if you guys didn't know, top lane is actually a very isolated lane, and a lot of times we just stick here to doing our own farming, so it's kind of hard for anyone to really notice what's going on top lane, because there's not going to be a lot of ganks or really interaction outside of the top lane. So the jungler should be aware of that, but mid laner and every other lane should really be a little almost like, unless they check like I do and introduce people at the end of the beginning of the match, but they're probably not going to do that, but they might just check to see what people are going in terms of items, which is always a smart thing to do. But I can just check my Aurelia top lane going here, and she's going for a mixture of damage and health in the beginning, so of course that's going to be very helpful to her. So I'm going to continue going back here and building it. The best thing to do is it right now, because it's a little bit out of sight from her, so she won't probably notice it right away that I'm building it up. She could suspect, but there's no way to know for sure, and that even if I wasn't building up at the moment, she might not actually come in and attack me, just because it's a big danger to her health. And now that I've destroyed the mini rave, I'm going to go back and do it again. Hopefully it was far enough away that she couldn't see it. And I didn't want her to really know about it yet, because right now, if she knows about it, it will definitely kind of take away any kill potential my mushrooms have, and it will become just a farming thing. So I'm going to let her become almost maybe confident, because I don't really care too much about that, because if I really need to, I can get out. So taking a little poke from her ult is fine. And if she gets overconfident and cocky because of it, it's actually all the better. So I'm going to kind of step back and let my minions take this, but I didn't want them to really reveal the first thing. So that might have even revealed it in the first place, and I know that, but there's not much I could have done. There, okay, so she knows that one was there now, sadly. Now I'm going to wait a little bit, because it takes a while for the minions' range to go, or sight range to go a little unnoticed. So right now she should probably be a little cautious, but still, there's not much that she can do, and even if I let them pop one of the shrooms, hopefully not anymore, it's not the biggest loss, because it's still there, and that's still always going to be a threat to her. Okay, lost another one. Sadly, that is something that I really do not want, but if it happens, it happens. Right now, I have a good amount of health, and the thing is, I'm running low on mana, which most likely would be a time to attack for anybody else, but I really knows that I have these mushrooms, so even if I can't do anything other than a little bit of poison damage, which I don't even have a lot of that, I can't use my Q on her too much, so the slow will be immense, to be honest. But I also have this like huge output of damage. So hopefully now Diana will hit every shroom. But I wasn't expecting Diana. She has a decent amount of range, but the minions should die to my shrooms. And I should be able to go ahead and pick up this, which will give me a lot of decent health. And some of my shrooms survived. Good enough. That prevents them from pushing. And I can get back to lane without much of a hitch. And I guess that was something that I really wanted, because she had stayed in lane for the longest time for some reason. And I wasn't really sure how. And even now I can actually get some things done, because if these minions don't completely die now, I'll actually be getting some of the gold when they hit the next mushroom. Like, Teemo has a sort of weird amount of map pressure because when I start laying shrooms around the map in places where I think the enemies will likely go, but not in bushes, because bushes are too obvious, and I hope you guys know that, because bushes have always been like a thing of the past for a while now, because it's been like a while since Teemo came out, and a lot of people still put them in bushes, and that's kind of like the obvious thing. You see them in the bush, and you're like, oh. Okay, so you're destroying some of my mushrooms. You wasted your entire ult on that, pretty much. That's Shaco. Okay, so I'm getting this email about coaching. Not email, but a message. So that's something that most likely I should just ignore. But I have no idea what it is. And I've gotten a few of these, so I don't know if it's spam or something. But I'm not really going to click it. Because someone else with a different name did the exact same thing. So it's not something I should be too interested in, considering just the fact that it's not really going to do me much good. Okay, I didn't get rid of the ward, sadly enough, but she knows more than enough to mess with me, especially since I was clearing the ward. It almost gives out this silent message that my jungler is close by and playing a gank, you know? I cleared it because my jungler was close by and most likely playing a gank, so that's the message that got across. And this guy still came within reach, sadly enough. But I may be taking a huge amount of, poke, from this person, and that's bad a lot of the time. But I'm just farming, which is very nice. Hopefully, I can punish her for this. Getting off some more poke, and now I'm gonna wait back and not plant shrooms right now because they've been getting popped to and fro. But hopefully she'll assume that let's say I'm gonna go back now, out of range. It might seem like I went to plant a shroom, but I'm not really going to do that yet. I'm going to save it so I can plant multiple at once or use them to my own benefit by having a lot of them being able to place down at once. And she's trying to push the wave or poke with that, I don't know. But now that thing is down. And this is where I'll start from, hopefully, if these guys don't pop it. So hopefully I can keep them away from it for now. And I'll start from that area and make sure that I keep a nice little watch on my opponent. Like I said, Aurelia is a really big pain to deal with, so hopefully I can just passively stay ahead of her and farm. And that one kill that Diana got off on me won't be too effective, because I think she got an assist, but it's not that big of a deal, especially for someone like Aurelia. Because it was an early kill, I didn't have any gold value, except the original gold value that I was sort of brought upon this earth with. So it's not going to benefit her in any real way. And I'm going to put this down, clear in her sight. So now she knows that it's there, and that will make her less likely to attack me. But if there is a gank, she might get a little, I guess you could say, brazen. But I can probably get away now. And I only let her in a way that, instead of popping both my shrooms, okay, now she just popped another, but that one is still there for emergencies. It's my emergency shroom protection unit, I guess you'll call it. And now I'm going to go ahead and get Thornmail, or get towards the Thornmail, I guess you could say. Because she's mainly armor at this point. Okay, I'm going to farm one of those, so I have enough for getting another one of these. And that puts me closer towards what I really wanted for my boots. Teleport back to lane, because all I really need is farm. But I want to get boots for that extra tenacity, which would always be really cool, especially against someone like Aurelia, who can really take advantage of a team fight if she goes ahead and stuns me first. Even a slow like that could put me in danger. So if I didn't have my shrooms out there this whole time, I definitely would have taken a real fall from grace there. I would have been destroyed by Aurelia. But the shrooms were able to keep her away, because she just became afraid of what they had to offer. Even though she had passed the one shroom that I had, and it had gotten me out of range, if she really wanted to, she could have gone in on me deeper, I guess. Because I'm sure she has Flash. Yeah, she has Flash and Ignite. So if you guys didn't realize, I probably can do a lot of good in surviving the Ignite, because I'm really a tanky champion right now as Teemo, because I built, you guys have probably learned by now, I build top tanks. So Ignite does 2 damage and deals damage from health. So buying any real defenses like armor is not going to help. So I managed to negate the damage from her auto attack, and I'm gonna ward her off. Like she knows the shrooms are there, so there's no way she's actually gonna go ahead and fight underneath it. And these guys are magic minions. That means they're not gonna get too close. And I just wanted to protect the majority of the shrooms, which was good because I needed them. So right now I actually have like a lot that I could do here, using my shrooms to protect me, and using the active of this. Right now she doesn't know where I am, but now she might, because the minions are close enough to perhaps reveal me before I went out of my invisibility. And, what? Dang it, I wasn't fast enough. I clicked, but I might have misclicked something, sadly. I was hoping in order to blind her so that she couldn't do any more damage to me than she already had. But like I said, I really is a tough top laner, and especially that I haven't been able to do much to her to prevent her from getting farm. But we've both been farming very highly, and getting this tower is going to put her ahead of me in gold. So this is going to be a tough game, but we've made it to the 20-minute mark without too much of a hit. So I think our team is doing good on their own, even though there is some struggles. And I don't think Shaka went that way. He probably went like the obvious path and went away, but that's sometimes a funny thing. A lot of people suspect that Shaka will take the other way around and do something, albeit a little unlikely, and go a route that may be less open to him to be able to get out and have them chase them the other way. But sometimes Chacos just keep running forward because people don't tend to expect that as much anymore. Like, I believe I said there's Teemo shrooms in this video or the last one, but Teemo shrooms are so obviously in the bush now that people assume that when a Teemo's there, he'll push them in the bush. But right now that's not actually what I'm doing. At first people assume I put them in the bush. Now that I put them all in lane, people are assuming that I'm putting them in the lane. There's not too much I can really gain right now from not putting them out of the lane and putting them in the bushes now, because even if he waits in that bush, there's not much I can really do for him. And sadly, this Irelia is definitely winning a lot, and without a tower, being up this high or far is going to be somewhat painful for me. But hopefully, having these shrooms here will give me a chance if I have to run away. And poking her is a bad idea. Like I said, she has that stun, but it's only if I have more health in her, or a percentage of health. Pretty much the same thing if I have more health in her. But right now, she's building also tanky, I guess. So just doing that might make it easier for her to get off a stun instead of a slow. So attacking her directly is a little bad on my part. Now she can't really do much because I'm putting these shrooms down. But now she's healing up, of course. Like I said, she can heal up with her ult. Now I'm just going to let her go through all these. I can flash and get out. Of course, she's too strong for me to fight. And even though I'm a tank, I'm taking immense damage from her. And I think she's... Now that I have this, hopefully I can actually get away. Yeah, I'm too fast for her. And I actually blinded her. So I guess, assuming that she wouldn't go too far like that, was the bad choice. But I would say careful. Because Aurelia is very strong. And just the fact, now that she has probably a lower health percentage than he is, I don't know why I actually did that. I was so close that I really didn't need to. So, I'm going to pretend that I didn't do that. This is almost 200, but I need just almost 200. So, I'll hopefully be able to get the Thorn Mail and reflect all the immense damage she does back on me. But this is for basic attack, so someone like her who uses other spells isn't going to be super effective against her, but she also does a lot of basic attack damage, so hopefully I can use my initial tankiness to buffer her along with my shrooms with this new Thornmail item that I have. So hopefully now I can instigate her into attacking. So I don't know if it'll become too helpful right now because she's really close. And these shrooms are going to go ahead and attack them either way. But I'll eventually start getting more damage as times come. But she's trying to go back. And I'm just going to stop her back because at this point I'm close to my turret that I don't have to really fear anything from her. Because even if I attempt a one-on-one fight with her, going ahead and just fighting me, this goes to my tower, unless she really wants to dive in, which will result in her death, almost guaranteed. She's really going to have trouble fighting me. So that's kind of what I'm going to do now. I'm going to... Why are they so fed? Oh, mid lane is fed, I guess. So we have to worry about the Diana, because I guess she did get that one kill on us. So we are partially responsible for that. But we're going to try our best to make up for it. And I'm going to continue farming, because right now this Aurelia has gotten ahead of me. But she only has that one kill. So I'm not going to be too, like, put down by it. I only gave her one kill, and it seems like our team basically is dying a lot. So hopefully we'll be able to do something. My tactic right now is not going to be too helpful, so I'm going to put shrooms in area where people go. Like, let's say someone wants to gank top, they'll most likely go through here. And I'll put them in other lanes, too. They'll also turret here, so a good gank path is from here. But there's another one that comes from here. And this is a small lane. Instead of putting it here, if I put it here, if they come down this lane, they're going to have trouble not getting hit by my shroom. So that's actually a nice trick there. So right now, top lane, if I stay more passive, should be defended. And mid lane has some defense from the top lane, in case Aurelia gets bored with me not really putting up much of a fight anymore. And hopefully, won't like give her too many more kills. But at this point, I'm gonna like tank a little bit of damage because my shrooms are here. And I'm gonna keep them away, hopefully, for a while at least. Okay, so that one was popped, so she might be a little more eager to go in, but I'd be careful anyways. That is bad. I don't know if I really want to fight her either way. Whether or not I have Jinx's help, I don't know if that will be enough. I'm gonna chug a few potions now, I guess you'll say. I did some damage to these guys with my ult. Good enough for now, but right now Jinx has even gone. So at this point, it's going to be a good idea for me to bow on out. And even Diana's here, so let's see if I can't get them in. Okay, some people have entered the room right now, so hopefully you guys don't hear them too much, because that might be a little disruptive. So, this is an interesting way to Teemo, so I hope you guys can learn to almost like utilize it better than I am at this moment, because I am actually kind of struggling with this right now against Aurelia, but she's also a very strong opponent, so this tactic worked for me in the last game, and I was able to, well, not getting a kill off Garen, I didn't let Garen get a single kill, and I was able to immensely outfarm him. So, in my opinion, this is actually a very sound strategy if you do it right. So I would totally recommend going ahead and trying this on your own. And Aurelia is very strong, so I'm going to go for health, an item that gives you both health and armor, because I'm going to need it. And let's see, right now the Random's Omen should be almost better, but I'm going to, instead of getting 2 health items, go ahead and get 1 health and 1 non-health item. And hopefully now I can get all this farm. Okay, good. Yep, this should all be easy right now. I'm going to say that she's gone. Okay, I accidentally flashed. And that was in full sight of their team, if you guys didn't know. Because their minions were here, they saw that, and if they were really paying too much attention, but they might not have been, which would be good, but I can't really say that with a guarantee. So I'm going to assume that they know that I don't have flash, and that I am vulnerable at this point. But hopefully that doesn't amount to much. Still missing, I guess, but she's top lane now. Mid lane, I mean. Because it seems like our team is making a push mid lane, and Diana, who is very strong, has been killed a few times, so I'd say that she's been a little bit weakened. So hopefully we can do something here. And Shaco seems to be wanting to take out the Twitch, but he might just be trying to preserve the turret. So I'm gonna put this mushroom here. Hopefully get these guys out. Dodge that spear. So now we both have our little guys here. I wonder if the poison damage will be enough to kill it. Because if you guys didn't know, things like that can also be affected by the poison damage. But it seems like my auto attack didn't do any damage because just in time it was able to preserve itself, I guess, with a nice and healthy dose of invisibility. So hopefully I'll be able to do damage there. And yep, I'm a little too late, so I'm not going to get too close to that because it can fear you. And I'm not in the mood to get feared, but it seems like we should be able to hold off the mid lane assault if we're careful. Okay, so they're going to take some damage from my shrooms, but as I said before, I'm not a real damage dealer. So, and now my final shroom has been taken down. I'm going to go ahead and... Okay, so I'd say we should back off from the Aurelia as a team. She hasn't taken any kills out of this, but it's also kind of sad in a way because she's begun to really outfarm me. So I'm going to go back and go ahead and hopefully be able to get the Giant's Belt by the time I start moving towards the top lane again. Okay, wait, I really underestimated that. I forgot, it was almost like, I assumed that I almost had 600, but I forgot 540 is nowhere close. And it seems like our lane is doing a good job pushing top lane, which is a good job, because my mushrooms haven't been destroyed, so I could definitely still make use of them. But I'm not going to continuously plant them forward. Like, if I had enough time, I would have planted them all the way to it if I was winning and becoming an insanely tanky champion, but at this point, I'm not doing that, so I have to be careful. And it seems like Shazoo top lane, I knew it. Aurelia has also come. So let me go ahead and put these shrooms together. Right now, that might be enough for a really big burst of damage, but Nidalee is also here, so I'm gonna probably bow out. And if you see, that's in a weird spot, so I'm hopefully they won't be able to totally come and get me. Okay, so she didn't have any damage, so using that ult was probably something to try to poke me out. Now, if anything, if I can keep these from completely obliterating me. Okay, that was a double shroom, so that was supposed to be an incredibly strong thing, and I was hoping she would fall for it, but apparently she didn't. But right now I'm losing shrooms left and right, so I'm going to prevent any more damage and put this one behind me out of the minion's reach. If they don't get any closer, I should be able to ward them off, but I'm also say that Aurelia is missing, because we don't want her to go ahead and take them. And I'm going to spend some time in the top lane farming, because if I can get some gold, I should be able to become a lot stronger. And at this point where my other shroom was, since I can't really get too much past it, I'm going to plant a big thing of shrooms here. Not really going double shroom, but like side by side. So if they do step on one, they'll step on another and another and another. But I'm not AP, so just putting my shrooms together won't do an immense amount of damage. No, we can win. We gotta play smarter though. You know? Like, it's not like I died once to Aurelia. So I mean, like, I'm sorry that she's getting really out of control, but I'm hopefully not being too much at fault for this, because I tried my best against her, but she is a really strong. Shaco, I guess Shaco feels like he's very responsible for this, which I'm gonna try to reassure him after I poke Aurelia some more. Sadly, I can't really do much about Aurelia, but they've lost the will to fight, which will greatly decrease our chances of winning. If you guys don't know, if your team is losing the will to fight, they're not going to go completely all out. And let me get back to the explanation, because sadly I didn't get to finish it because our team started surrendering, and I was needing mid lane. But my shrooms only do, let's see, 450 damage over 4 seconds, but I can't. My poison doesn't stack, so having them too close together isn't really beneficial. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get these guys. Hopefully they can get punished by a bunch of shrooms. Of course, that's only if they really take a lot of damage, and that's probably a clone, because he did use his clone. Yep, I was right. So hopefully I can do something here and there. I want to get this guy out of the way. So I'll take... It's not going to do much damage, and if they aren't in a position to go in, it's fine to take that, because if they do, like, get back here and get into a position of getting us in, that trap could be very detrimental to us. So we want to make sure that it's out of commission. So right now you can see how Zed does a decent amount of damage, and I put a shroom on her trap, so she triggered that. He got me from being invisible. You're under level, or he's fed beyond belief. Well, Shaco is not really under level, because there's Nidalee, who is also very strong, but not a low level but who is also like a low level like our Shaco. So I don't have too much to fear, because they could probably dive me, but I feel like that would be a little brazen of them. Yep, though they're still gonna do it and survive, because she is a monster who is both incredibly tanky and incredibly powerful, which just makes her very absurdly OP, I guess. And that's like a few champions who are very capable of doing that. Like Udyr, who can build pretty much a lot of attack damage, but he also becomes very tanky because of just the way he is. Because Aurelia is someone who has a lot of she's building a lot of items that I believe, like, let's see, yeah, this gives you health, this gives you like lifesteal, and this gives you health, gives you magic resist, it gives you increases the ability of your lifesteal. And Aurelia, who already has her lifesteal on her W and her ult, becomes incredibly tanky off of that, which is just saddening, I guess. So I think we did a decent job in lane, but Aurelia is just someone who is incredibly strong, and I had doubts about being even able to really contest her, and that's sad to some extent. Maybe if I was stronger, but like, I think other people on our team I should definitely be able to take out at this point, but Rattle Kalamimi, I see that you're strong, and I know that I will be unable to 1v1 you, but hopefully my shrooms can delay the inevitable. Because right now, not only has Diana become strong by getting fed, this person who isn't even like really fed, well, she's probably fed now, but she's just become strong off other devices. Like, you see that my shrooms are still good in protecting me, because they're both very, I'm afraid, because Teemo has a like kind of like a infamousy, I guess you could say. Okay, so we finally are surrendering, but I hope you guys can almost like still learn from this. Like, this is a way you can use Teemo shrooms almost like, if you don't let the enemy team see them, like for a while, like when I first had it, I had a really good system going, but with the shrooms, pushing them in the back where they couldn't be seen. In my last game, I was able to completely shut down the Garen, basically, who is now a Zed. I mean, I don't know if it was too much, like, but he was kind of like really hesitant to go in, and whenever someone like the Aatrox, who is usually a very good ganker, especially because of his passive, they were unable to really get to me. So I hope you guys enjoyed the game. Hope you guys learned a lot. And if so, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time on the League of Legends.